Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to fire up our Kamado Joe Classic and we're going to make some smoked pork chops. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do to get these smoked pork chops going is I've got 2 quarts of cold water, and to that I'm going to add 1 cup of coarse grain sea salt and 1/2 of a cup of sugar. And I'm going to stir that until that's completely dissolved. Okay, I've got that completely dissolved, so I'm going to toss this in the refrigerator for an hour or so to chill this brine down. And now I want to introduce you to the star of the show for today. I've got 3 really nice, thick, bone-in pork chops, and this is enough to do 3 or 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and put these in the bottom of a 2-gallon ziploc bag. These would probably fit okay in a 1-gallon bag. And then we're going to dump our brine in on top of that, the brine that we've had chilling. And we're going to seal this bag up, and we're going to let that marinate in the refrigerator for 12 hours and up. You can go up to 24 hours on this, but I'm just going to go 12, and I'm going to turn them over in the refrigerator once every couple hours to make sure we get a good brine. Okay guys, I've lit a fire in the firebox of my Kamado Joe Classic, and I've put a couple of chunks of oak wood on here for smoke. I have set a heat deflector on the low side on the right, and a grill grate on the low side on the left, and another grill grate up high on the high side on the left here. We are going to start this out. We're going to slow smoke these pork chops over here on the left over indirect heat, and we're going to let the temperature in the dome come up to about somewhere between 250 and 300 for that. In order to get our grill up to 250 to 300, I'm going to leave the bottom vent open there about 2 inches, and I'm going to close the top vent down about halfway until our temperature comes up. And once the temperature starts getting around 225 to 250, I'm going to start closing this down a little bit to slow things down to where we can stop at just somewhere on the inside of 300 degrees. I have taken our pork chops out of the brine, and I have rinsed them thoroughly with cold water, and I've patted them dry. We're not going to do anything else to these at this point. We're going to take these on out and put them right in the smoke. Okay guys, we're getting close to being up to temp. I got some good smoke rolling here, so what we're going to do is we're going to toss these pork chops on, and I'm just going to lay them over here on the indirect side of the grill with the bones toward the fire, and we're going to let these guys smoke until we get an internal temperature of about 135 degrees on these chops. And when we get to that point, I'll come back and tell you how long that took. Okay guys, 45 minutes to an hour or so is all I took to get these up to 130, 135 internally. The thickness of your chop and what temperature you're going to cook at is going to determine how quickly that goes. And I was running at about 300 degrees here. So we're going to take these off and take them inside and go to the next step. And when I close this grill back up, I'm going to open up the vents so we can get really hot over here on this side. Okay, for these pork chops, we're going to put together a little rub that is going to be 1/4 of a cup of chili powder, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and about 3 tablespoons of a coarse kosher salt. And I'm just going to use my whisk, and we're going to mix all that together. Okay, now that we've got our grill warmed up, I'm going to take some of this rub, and we're going to sprinkle it all over each side of this meat. And I'm just going to rub it in really well. Try to, kind of massage some of that into this meat with my hand. And then we're going to flip them and get the back side. And just kind of rub that in as well. And then we'll take these guys back to the grill to finish them off. Okay guys, we've got the Joe running nice and hot over here on the direct heat side, so we're going to bring these chops in. And we're going to sear these a couple minutes on each side until we get some nice char. We've been going about 3 minutes or so, so we're going to give these guys a flip We may end up flipping these guys more than once, but man, that's looking really nice. Let these go a little longer. Almost done. After just another couple of minutes, these things are ready. So we're going to take them off the grill. I'm going to take them inside and I'm going to loosely tint these in foil, and we're going to let them rest for about 10 minutes before we cut in. It's time to have a taste of this. It smells beautiful. I wish you could smell it. So let's give this a try. Guys, that's fantastic. Beautiful smoke flavor. The saltiness from the brine and the rub is definitely coming through. And I've got to give credit where credit is due here. The idea for this recipe came from Stephen Reichland's Project Smoke book. It's called A Monster Pork Chops. It's in this book. I made the recipe once before as written in the book and I didn't like it. So I made some modifications to it. I'm not saying that it wasn't good. It's just that I didn't like it. I made some changes to it and I think we have a winner here. So give this a try. Let me know what you think. Join us on Facebook, facebook.com/KamadoJoe. Follow us on Twitter @KamadoJoe. And until next time, I'm John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.